We know the difference between the World Wide Web and the internet now. We said World Wide Web basically has web pages that we access through using the internet, the infrastructure, the giant infrastructure that we have. Then we talked about that it's a www.gmail.com. It's www is the World Wide Web, which is considered as I said, that the place where websites reside. And so again, to access that, of course, do I need internet? Yes, I need internet to access any website. And how have web works? We've talked about that web works with the different protocols. Protocols are the rules and regulations or rules for the communication online. So we saw that there is one protocol which is called Internet Protocol, which is a unique identifiable address. And we have seen a little quick example of that, but I'll talk about more for IP addresses shortly later on. Then we saw that all important, a very important protocol is HTTP or HTTPS that we use, that is used for the communication over the web. So web communicates through these two protocols. Specifically these days, it communicates with this HTTPS, the secure protocol that we talk about. Then we talk about this something called a URL, and we saw that the URL typically refers to, it's nothing new, it's typically refers to the web address, the address of the website. We write https www.keyin.com, for example, and we get so that https://www.keyin.com is considered as the URL, the uniform resource locator of a website. Then we talked about domain names. The names, as we talked about, that given to these websites for human readability, for remembering easily them. Otherwise, actually, these addresses are not in this form. Rather, they are in that IP form, the Internet Protocol address form. But we know that we know that google.com, but you think about a situation where I say that just remember 20401.1.1, etc., etc., etc. So it's rather very difficult to remember those kind of things. So we have domain names for that. So human readable, and the system that takes care of the the mapping of domain names with the IP addresses is called DNS, or the domain naming system that we talk about. So that's a quick review of what we have done. In 3 minutes, we have done that review. Now I would like to talk about this URL a bit more, because we want to just discuss some more important things. So if that URL is keyin.com, so remember, now let's tear apart this URL, right? If we want to tear apart this URL, the first part represents the protocol through which the communication will happen. Now, a very important point here that we are starting right now in this discussion. Whenever I write www.keyin.com, for example, in my browser, so what I do is, actually, whenever someone writes in their system www.keyin.com or something like that, actually they make a request. That's a very important point, that they make a request. So whenever you are looking to find you are looking to get a web page as a client, you are requesting. Let me just take my Zoom it tool. I don't know why it's not there. I'll just check it. Zoom it, where it has gone. I had installed this already, because I want to have a code-like environment where I can write something, and I'll just do it quickly now. Okay, has someone sent a message? Looks like. Okay, so we have talked about that when you request something, when I request something, when I write something in the URL as a URL, I am requesting a web page. So you can typically say that I am requesting a web page or website, something like that. Now, when server sends back that page, when I get this keyin.com into my web browser, it is called response, or I can say response, right? It is called response from the server. Me being client, I request www.keyin.com. I request that, and request to what? Request to internet. For the time being, just consider request to internet. And internet, or the server where typically keyin.com resides, returns me the keyin.com website, And in technical terms, we say that response has been received from any server, from internet, so to speak. Just right now, we can say from internet we get back the response. Right. Let me just see if Zoom it has been installed, or like I want to have a board with me to downloads. Okay. Okay. Quickly. And now I think I should have. Okay, yes, I've got that. So, okay, just remember that when you are in your system, in your URL as a client computer, client machine, you write www dot something, right? You write a URL over there, .com or whatever. So you are basically doing what? You are requesting. This is important to note. So whenever you write something, we write something in our system, we are requesting a web page. And there is, for example, a giant server that is capable of, or that has stored all those websites. Or let's talk about the web environment. The web is there. So web basically does what? It responds, or response is given as a web page that we're requesting. Now we need to understand this hierarchy, or this working, that we request something and server responds with something. So what we make is called request. What server sends back, it is called response. Does that make sense to everyone? Now, when I write https www.keyin.com, this URL has multiple things. There are few things that are visible, which I can see right now, and there are few things which are not visible. And I'll talk talk about those things which are not visible over there. So first of all, let's see what is that. So this HTTPS is basically what? Is the protocol through which it will communicate. So I want to say that I'm saying that please bring wkeyin.com, and I'm using this HTTPS, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure version. Go and bring this keyin.com for me. Right now, what is this? So www, you know that this www is World Wide Web, where this all is residing. Now after that, this keyin.com. What is this keyin.com? It's basically the domain. You remember we talked about that domain name system is basically that keeps record of. So keyin.com also has some IP address. And you remember we found out IP address by using into command prompt. And if you are on Mac on your terminal, you go over there. And if I say, for example, trace RT, right? Trace RT is a command, and I say www.keyin.com. Let's see if it brings up. So you see that first of all, I'll show you. This is the IP address of keyin.com, 72.249.48.112. So again, the concept that we are talking about, that domain name system keeps track of this, this IP address, which is mapped to keyin.com. So what this keyin.com is called? Keyin.com is called domain. So I don't know what is the IP address of this, but I know that whenever I will write in my browser, whenever I will write keyin.com, I'll get back the keyin.com. So I'm not really concerned about what is it. So if I say keyin.com, for example, so you see I get back the web page. So I'm never really concerned what is the typically IP address of that one. But what I'm concerned with is that I have got this keyin.com which I can use. So this keyin.com is called the domain name or domain. So it's easier to remember this rather than remembering this. So I can write this. I will write this one as well over here. So this is keyin.com's IP address. So remember, so if someone tells you that my website is 72.249.48.112, life would have become so very difficult at that point of time. So it's right now just going to that one. And if you see here this working which is going on, I told you that there are two types of addresses, IPv4 and IPv6. We have talked about IP before. So this is IPv4 typical address. And you remember there was one other address that was coming, and I told you that was IPv6. So these are different versions. No need to worry about that. But remember this type of addresses are called IPv4, the version 4 addresses of Internet Protocol. So that is it's going. So this citronhub.com.home, it is telling me about my browser or my router that I'm using. Then it goes outside to somewhere. Then it goes outside to somewhere. Then any other system. Then any other system. Then any other server. Then it has request timeout at some place maybe. and it has access to this one. And now it is trying to reach that typical server where my keying.com resides. Does that make sense to everyone? So it's tracing the route between myself, like myself, this one, 128.168.0.1. This is my router's address, and then all the way to keying.com. So it is just going over there. So this is called domain. This is typically called as what? Domain. Now, one thing which is hidden from here, which is not given over here, is called port number. Now, what is this port number? Very interestingly, when I write HTTPS www.keying.com, actually there is a colon and there is a port number being written over there, 443 or anything. What is a port number? Port number, as you know, that we have so many ports in real world, the bus port, the ear port, and all those places from where communication occurs. So port number is technically a number. It's like an extension number on a phone call. You call some office at the main number and then you say 443 is the extension for that typical person. So every communication which is done on internet or on our communication that is done, it uses a port number, typically a port specific. Now, a very important thing, whenever the HTTPS is used, the default port number is 443. Yeah, exactly. And if you are communicating through www, which might not give you the result, but anyhow, you should know that 80 is the number of HTTP protocol and 443 is the protocol is the number for HTTPS. Now, the thing is, we don't need to write it over here, even though it is written over here. So see here what happens. If I write 443, which is the right protocol with HTTPS, if I hit enter, you see I still get my web page and nothing changes, but the port disappears from here because by default you are not required to give the port. Now, if I come over here and by mistake I write 80, now you know that 80 is not the port to be for the communication of the secure protocol. It is for the normal protocol. What should happen? Let's see what happens. Do you understand what's going on? It says that this site cannot provide a secure communication, thing like etc. etc. There is an error, SSL protocol error. If you see, now it means that I have given to HTTPS, I have given a protocol like a port number where it can never receive the data. Why? Because it will always receive the HTTPS data on 443. So if I convert it to 443, it will go away and my website will appear again. Does that make sense to everyone other than Neil? Neil is replying continuously. Yes. Does that make sense to everyone? That port number which is not there, but if I write a wrong port number, as I mentioned, that 80, so that will show that my website is not appearing. Why? Because 80 is not the protocol to communicate HTTPS data. Right. And what is the protocol? It is actually 443, which is the protocol. And you see that it disappears and my web page appears. Wonderful. I see many guys have given a thumbs up. So this is called port number, and this is important. And remember that the secure protocol has 443, and a normal, like an HTTP protocol has this 80. Right. Now I want to show you something. Maybe let's see if I can. Yeah. So you see, when I've gone into our partners, do you see that keying.com/partners? This is very interesting. When I'll copy this one and I'll show you. So when you click anything on URL, this is called the path. And you remember, we have a very nice example for today, the path of the resource. And the example that we have today, our O'Reilly videos were not working. And why not working? There was something wrong in between. So you see, if I put something in between that, of course, this will never work. This will never work. You know what I mean? So typically speaking, what we are saying is that the path is typically where you will find any typical resource. So that place is called the path. So it can be partners. It can be, for example, if I say contact, so it can go to contact. It can, if I say view book. So there are lots of other paths that appear on that one. So these are called the path. But out of this path, the one thing which is very interesting is the origin. There is something called origin. So origin in our case is typically keying.com, through which different paths appear. You know what I mean? Different paths appear and they just, they have just different things to do. So origin is keen.com, and then there are different paths for partners, for something like that. So you need to remember the origin, right? So this is called, this will be typically the origin, and then we have different parts of that typical something. Okay, so now the other thing that I would like to talk about is I told you that port number exists from 1 to 6,503.56, something like that. There are 65,000 ports available. So whenever you are communicating on web or something, if some protocol does not work, of course, there are some allocated for that particular communication, but we can use, and you will see today as well, that we have different ports that we can use for our own use anyhow. Now, you remember I talked about request and response. I'd like to just talk about some response codes here, and that's very interesting. Response codes. You remember that when we were using the wrong path or wrong address, rather if I just say flipbook, I just delete one I from flipbook. So it says page not found, and it's giving a very graceful error, a mistype address, an out of date link, something like that. But do you remember that when we were trying to access that one, I'll show you that the same address that was not working for some guys. I'll just take that one. You remember that it was just receiving, it was just giving. So you remember, let me just check if that is running, because it is, if there is no error, it will run, of course. Oh, okay, it says it cannot reached, and there is something wrong with that. Anyhow, but if you see that, you remember that it is just giving me an error. And if you remember that, oh, sorry, so many things. Let me just copy that again. Still copying something wrong. Why? Okay, so it is copying something from its own side. I don't know from where, but anyhow, let's check that. It is just converting those characters again. Anyhow, see here. Okay, so this website is working. As you know, as you remember that some of the websites were not working at that time. Yeah. So now what I'll do is this technically, what was happening over there. I will intentionally put some padding over here, and I'll put %20f. You know, the same mistake that was happening. So I'm doing that intentionally by myself to show you something very interesting. You see 404. I wanted to show you this. 404 is a response status code that we get when the resource is not found. In the same way, when the resource is successfully found, we get some status code, response code. And what is the response code? I'm just about to start to talk about that one. Let me just stop this video first, or maybe just I'll close that one. So see here, HTTP response codes. See here, what are those codes? Okay, so I hope you can see this. So see here, client error responses. I have mistyped the URL or the resource is not found. It will give 400 to 499 error. So you remember 404, resource not found. Okay, if there is something wrong with server, you will get a response of 500 to 599. If there is a website has been redirected to some other location, you will get 300 to 399. Now comes a very interesting one, successful responses. Whenever you get some resource successfully, you get this 200 status code in return. And I can show you where you get this one. For example, if I just go over here, this is, and right now, please don't worry about where I'm going, and just don't worry about that. I just do want to show you something. I just don't want you to follow me up right now. I'll tell you each and everything by later on, but right now I just want to show you something. Do you see that status code here, 200? Everyone can see that? So this status code is telling me that now the website has been successfully received to me. William, does that make sense? This 200. And again, if I just make a mistake, hello, which is not a path over there. So you see, let's see what happens. So you see that hello, and it tells us, okay, it's just giving us 200. Okay, it's just giving us so you see here, hello is a 404. Is that making sense to everyone? Hello document does not exist. Hello path does not exist. So it's giving me 404. It says that it's not found. I don't find this resource on the internet on that one. So remember, whenever something happens with the resource, you get 400 to 499 error. When some resource has been moved to some other location, you will get a redirection message from 300 399, and the successful message is 200. And remember this, 200 is very important when we are doing web programming. We will be looking for this 200 code every now and then, that whether I have successfully received the web page. If yes, then I'll take an action. If no, I'll take another action. Does that make sense? I'll just stop for a bit. So these are, and there are informational responses which are called 100 to 199, which we usually do not do. But these three are very important. Number 2, number 4, and number 5. And I told my students that this is one of the potential interview question as well. Sometimes they will ask you that someone is getting a 500 error. Is that something wrong with the client or server? So you should tell them that is something wrong with the server. If someone says that you are getting an error of 400, it means the client is not mistyping the resource, or the resource has been deleted, something like that. Or if the resource has been moved somewhere, you will get 300 or 399 error. Can I get a quick response from everyone understanding these error codes? And what I'll do is that I'll just copy these one for my notes so that you get them in the notes as well. Information response 100, but remember this one is very important, and these two are very important. And specifically, if you talk about this one and this one, they are very important. 200 is very nice, very important, and we need to take into account this 200. Okay. 200 is also called OK. 200 is also called OK response. OK means that everything has been received successfully and we have got everything nicely set up. Okay, so this is a quick introduction that I wanted to give you. There are some other things that I want to that I would like to discuss, but I'll discuss it with during the class. There is a query string and things like that, but I'll talk about them later on. But right now, I understand that this is a very general introduction, very basic introduction of the web, and I would like you to just have maybe just if in your free time just look at some videos maybe related to these concepts, and you will come to know so many things. But again, for our purpose, for making you understand most of the things, I have just told you all those interesting things. Now where I will go from here, we'll at last start some coding. At last some coding, right? So we are about to start some coding. We should be happy now. Okay, for that what I'll do is that I'll open up my first of all the document. Okay. So just one more time, I would like to know that did you have a chance to look at those videos now, like while our that started working? Did you have a chance to look at those videos? If you have, seen those videos, you will be definitely very comfortable with the topic that we are about to start. Did you have a chance to look at those videos? Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Mark. And David, you had a look. And of course, if you have seen them, you will really enjoy that. Kara, thank you. Mackenzie, thank you. Okay, that Neil, that's wonderful. You have seen all of them. And of course, as I said, you will really enjoy the part of this. Okay, so I'm now starting this one. First of all, I'm expecting everyone to have Visual Studio Code installed in your machines, as you have said that you have. So I'll just open it up, and please don't do anything else unless I tell you, because I will be just, I'll just letting you know some very interesting, important things. Right. So maybe you guys have whatever environment open in front of you. I'll just open up a new file and just show you, or maybe I'll open up a folder. Okay, so what folder I'll open up? I'll open up the same folder that I'm talking about, summer 22 lecture codes. And again, as I told you that I will be. So what you have to do, please bear in mind, because some students do mistakes in that one. So in your own machine, please create a folder for your codes for the codes of this course, right? And out of that, you need to do what? You also maintain your week 1, week 2 folders. So there are two types of week 1 folder that you have. One week 1 in your machine that you will have in your system, and one week 1 that I'll be sharing with you. So my shared folder has nothing to do with yours. You will just look at the code in that one, but you will work in your machines. Have I made my point clear? Again, so I'm saying that as I have this folder summer 22 to 2022, and I have given this lecture code week 1. So it should have nothing to do with your folders. You will maintain your own folders over there. But what we do in our Visual Studio, like first of all, I'm telling you. So you go to your file menu and open the folder. And of course, you open that folder that you want here to be available. So if you go to summer 22, I'm going to lecture course. I have this week 1 folder. So I'll click on week 1 folder and I'll select that folder. And I will go very slow from here because, most of the guys, they start making mistakes from this point onwards, and I don't want them to make mistakes. So now you will see, because if the folder is empty, you will see an empty screen, or maybe you see that I have just lecture1.txt, the lecture file that I'm creating, but I don't want that one right now. So you will see something like this. How many of you have opened up your week 1 folder in your machine, not mine, in your machine? How many of you have this setup? I'll take feedback on every step right now, because there are lots of things that I want to just understand. Okay, that's good. That's good. Chris says got it, and David says so. You must have your week 1 folder over here, and this is very important. Why I'm stopping here? You would know that after some point of time, some guys, they start feeling that, oh, where is my folder? Where is all those things? So keep in mind that today I'm telling you how to organize your folder structure as well. Neil, thank you. I would like to have feedback from everyone. I've got till now I've got Chris, David, and Neil. I would like to have response from others as well. Maybe Tyler, Darren, Kara. Okay, Kara, thank you. William, wonderful. Wonderful. That's wonderful, Glenn. So be very clear. I'm again going into that one. When you do open folder, you have to open your week 1 folder from your lecture code, or for this semester code, or whatever. And by the way, one of the tasks for maybe tomorrow or maybe today after this session, I would like you to share your screen and show me your folder structure. And believe you me, why I'm just emphasizing that, because last semester, towards the end, I came to know that some students, that they did not even know that where their folders are existing. You know what I mean? So I would definitely want to have a look at your folder structure so that you are not lost at any point of time. You know what I mean? So after this, our practice session, I would be with you, and I would like you to share your screen, everyone, and show me your folder structure so that I'm satisfied that okay, that's you have got the right things set up. Okay, so I would like you to just open this week 1 folder and select folder. When I'm week 1, select folder. And of course, there is nothing else than lecture1.txt right now over here. Now, let's start doing something right away. Don't wait for anything else. Do you see that this week 1 folder, where this week 1 is written, you see there are multiple buttons with that one. I'll talk about all of them, no worries. But right now we want to just have our first program running as soon as possible. So you come over here in this week 1 and you see the first button, new file. All of you can see this new file button. Click on this button. You will get a prompt over here running. Now here, write what I'm writing, index.html. And don't worry about the icon. You might have a different icon. Don't worry about that. I have a different theme applied. You can apply different themes, but you might have something else icon, but I have this 5 icon, HTML5 icon. But write index.html and hit enter. Should I expect that everyone is with me? Since this is day 1, I would be going very slow. I would be going very step by step. And I will be happy to have a thumbs up every step. Yeah, William, thank you. A thumbs up after every step. Wonderful, Glenn, thank you. McKinsey, Mark, I can see those thumbs up from you guys. David, I don't want you to be lost anytime, any point of time, right? Darren, thank you very much, Darren. Tyler, wonderful. I can see your thumbs up. Chris, yes, thank you. Okay, that's wonderful. Now come here and let's do something. Start typing what I am typing here without knowing what it is. Just without knowing what it is. Write down this doc type HTML. Doc type HTML. And please bear in mind, I'm going very hard way on this page, but why? Because I want to tell you the hard way first, and then we'll come to the easy way. Doc type HTML. When you will write tag sign of less than sign of exclamation, you will get the doc type. After that, come over here and type exactly as I'm typing, HTML, and close this less than and greater than sign, HTML. I'm hoping that everyone is with me. HTML, and as you type HTML, you will get to like the pair of HTML as well as together. And I know that some of you might be looking at the different things. Some of you will be typing something like that, and they will say, oh, HTML, HTML5. Don't worry about that. What you have to do, tag sign, like less than sign, HTML, and greater than sign. As you do that, you will get another HTML. What is that? I don't know, but I have that something. Again, I'm not taking feedback. I'll take feedback when I'll complete. After this HTML, at line number 3, I am writing another tag, less than head, and hit enter after that. Inside head, I write title. And in title tag, what I'm doing in between that, I'm not hitting enter. Rather, in between that, I'm writing something. My first web page. Everyone do that. After that, now observe something very carefully. I have come to this head after this head tag, and I have hit enter. It means I am now out of this boundary of head, something like that. It was a boundary of head, something like that. I am out of it now. Now I type body like this and hit enter. Now I type again H1 hello world. I am a web developer now. Right? Write any message in between this H1. Everyone is done. Can I have some thumbs up here? Like you have followed this along. I'll share the code as well, Mackenzie. I'll share the code. Thank you. Mark, thank you. I can see a few thumbs up. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now please see here, everyone, if you are on Mac, because on Mac generally Control S does not work, maybe Command S. I'll just be very careful. I'll go to this file menu and hit save. Everyone, it is for Mac and PC equal. So go to file menu and hit save. Okay. If you have done that, now I will minimize this window and I would like to show you something. So this is my folder, lecture codes, where there is a week 1 folder. So you can access your folder physically, and there you will find a file with index.html with Chrome extension, Chrome logo, or maybe any logo, but this will be called as index file over there. Everyone can see that. Go into this folder physically in your Finder and just go and double click on this file. And for your surprise, let me tell you, you have become a web developer now. This is your first website. Very nice and beautiful. This is your first website, which has some title. I'll talk about the title where we have mentioned that, which has some text on it. And I am a web developer now. Mackenzie, thank you very much. Are you clapping for yourself or myself? For me. Okay. So now I would like again a feedback, quick feedback. Everyone can see run of. Yeah, that's wonderful. Every one of you see can. Yeah, David, you will get. Don't worry, you will get very good amount per hour. Don't worry. Mark, okay, that's wonderful. I have file created but cannot see the folder structure on the left. Okay, Neil, no problems, Neil. Just don't worry about that. I will now stop here and I will first of all solve all those problems. William, text means what? Oh, your text is in bold. No problem, William. I will let you know. No problems. I can understand what are the problems because William, right now it is good to have these problems. I would do this troubleshooting with you, and after maybe asking you to share your screen shortly, and of course that will give others also a bit of learning as well. William, you know what I mean? Same with the Neil. Neil, if you are not looking at the folder structure, no worries. I'll let you know that why you are not looking at the folder structure. First of all, did you click on the Explore tab on the site? Okay, yeah. So Ian is asking. Okay. And by the way, the I can tell you this, you see these two pages here, Neil. If you click on them, you will get the structure, and if you click on them, this will just not toggle this folder structure, file structure. Okay, you don't have that. No worries, no worries, no worries. And please, it's missing. No problem. I will let you know because I want to have a look at your environment first. No worries. Okay, so now I am hoping that everyone has become a web developer and they've got this very nice and beautiful, colorful, with so many pictures and videos web page. So, so how many of you have this wonderful, wonderful website that we can upload today? Maybe. Okay. Now I'll stop here, and I would like to solve first of all everyone's problem. Now, if you are the one who still is not able to see this web page, how many of you are not able to see? Maybe it's not bold text is not there or something is there. So William, would you mind sharing your screen? And we want to, because I want to troubleshoot it in front of every class so that we know that sometimes, of course, those mistakes may come in front of everyone. William, would you mind sharing your screen? Oh, that's wonderful. So William is sharing his screen, and I'll tell you, William, why your text is not bold.
Yeah, so I noticed here the body didn't indent the same as yours there when I went to the next line.
Okay, no problem. Have you saved that? Now show me your like a running web page, the web page running that you have double clicked on your folder structure. I cannot see that. I think it's in some other window. Oh yeah. Okay. So index.html. Oh, I got it. So you have written down, I think, HI rather than H1. Go back to your Visual Studio Code.
Oh, okay.
It should be H1. Save that. And that's a wonderful thing to have. That's a wonderful mistake to have, no problems. Save. Command S, and now go to that web page again, running web page.
Yeah.
Did you close that, the running web page? Wonderful. Double click on that. Yeah. So you can maximize it. And now you see that it's all done, like it's showing the right thing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So that was a good mistake to have. Again, you always learn from your mistake. Yes. Anyone else who is having problem? You can stop sharing your screen now, William. Thank you. Yes. Anyone else who would like to just talk to us about this? Okay, so viewer, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, that's done. So everyone is able to run that, because I'm about to tell you some shortcuts that you will really enjoy. But right now I want you to be over here, and I want to be very satisfied that everyone is here. And if you want to make a change, see here. I can place both of them side by side on my system. Sorry, I can place them both side by side. So see here, if you want to make a change, come over here, and for example, after this H1, hit enter, and again write an H1. This is new text. When you make some changes, go in the file again and save that. You need to save your work always. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, that really happens. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. Can you see that now? Okay, thank you. Now see here, after this H1, I come after this all the way to the end of the line. I hit enter and I again write H1. This is new text. Now what I'll do is that I will go in the file menu and hit save. I have saved that. And the website that is running, you come over here and hit refresh, reload this page. Click on that one. Do you see this is new text has also appeared? And the other way can be, if you are feeling that way easy right now, you go into their folder and just click on that one. You will get that web page or the change that you have made over here. And just to show you another change, I'm again writing H1, yet another text. And remember, you have to hit save, file save, Control S, Command S, and go to your web page and hit refresh, reload. I'm hoping everyone is with me. I'll take feedback shortly after that one. Now it looks very hectic to run this web page. Why? Because I am changing, then I go to the folder, then I run this one. Looks very bad, looks very tedious working. Now I would like you to just add few extensions that will make our life so much easier. First of all, I'll close this web page. I don't want this web page now running. So all of you, if you go to your view menu, you will find extensions over there. View extensions. Can you click on that, everyone? View extensions. In extensions, you have an extension called live server. You click on this live server, you will find this extension. It won't be installed in your system. You just need to install that. Everyone, please install this live server because it's installed in my one. So it says disable or uninstall. You would have that installed into your system. Please install that. And when you are done, show me a thumbs up on the chat. When you are done, show me a thumbs up. That's wonderful. Install that, install that, install that. That's wonderful. That's great. I can see a lot of guys. Okay, now I'm closing this extension and I'm closing even that one. And I don't want this one as well. Yeah, view extension, Neil. Yes, view extensions, right? View extensions. Now let me show you something very interesting. Okay, now do what? Open your folder structure by using these two buttons. Whatever document you want to run, you go and right click on that. So index.html, right click on that one. You will get the first option as open with live server. Oh, Neil, I will talk about that. It should be there. It would be inside under views. If you can check, Command Alt X is the shortcut key. I'll come to you. But let me first show this one. Open with live server. Click on that one. You see that my website runs automatically. And I want you to observe few things. I'll talk about them. A very nice thing now is because I am running with this live server. If I go over here and if I make a change, if I delete this line and hit save, see my right side of the window. I hit save, Control S. I don't need to refresh that. Mackenzie, do you see that? I just delete this and hit Control S, Command S, file, save, and it is updated over there. So you see that now my web page will keep on working and it's so wonderful to have. Neil, would you like to share? Yeah, Neil, would you like to share your screen? In the meantime, so all of you will be running your web page because I'll talk about this URL. This is very important URL that you are looking at over here because I'll talk about this. You will enjoy this because we have discussed those things. Okay, so Neil, share your screen, Neil. Okay. Okay. Are you sure that the program that you are running is Visual Studio Code, by the way, Neil, first of all? Because this is not the right. I don't think it's the right software.
I downloaded Visual Studio, but I don't know if I downloaded Visual Studio Code. Maybe I downloaded the wrong program.
Yeah, so you're running Visual Studio right now. That's right. No problems.
Sorry.
We just, yeah, we don't need that one right now. Maybe
Okay.
you just, install Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio. Visual
Oh.
Studio Code is very different from Visual Studio.
Okay, I'll just follow along for today and I'll fix that this evening.
Why not? Let's do it right after this session as well. And you keep on just installing that on the side.
Yeah,
right?
I'm okay with that. I'll take care of that myself. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. I'm here to help you if you need. Anyhow, so now I'll share my screen again. Right, so wonderful. You see that our web page is now working very fine. If I come over here and again I add an H1 and I say hello, something like that, right? And as I hit Control S, I see that updated on my other machine, like other window. Isn't that cool? Yes, David, it is supposed to be updated automatically if the server is running. If you are running a server, right now this URL contains a server address. Before this, if I just show you, if I run it from my directory, do you see that URL is representing my directory structure? It is not representing a server. You know what I mean? Yes, automatically is equal to come after Command S. You are right. After Command S. So you see now this will not automatically update. Why? Because now I am not running a live server. Rather, I am running it directly from my Windows. Hello now, right? If I hit save, you don't see the change over here. Why? Because it is not you are running not running from the server. You see the URL. Yeah. So now if you want to run this for the server, see here, you go here, right click on your index file, open with live server, and you will see that file running. And now this will be updated anyhow. If I delete this, Control S, Command S, updated. Delete this. Command S, done. Even delete this or cut that. Command S, gone. And nothing is there on my web page now. But anyhow, I want to place this one at least. It's over there. Terence, you enjoyed that? This live server extension? And Terence, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. You will see so many useful, interesting things. You would really enjoy them. And that's why I have touched this web code today, so that you at least know what is going on and how do you do that. Okay, so this is our first HTML page. Now, I'm about to tell you another very useful shortcut. I come over here and delete everything. you would say, oh, what's that? What has happened? And you might get a message from live server that what are you doing? There is no head tag. Don't worry about that. Just do like that. And all of you use a shortcut. Sign of exclamation. It is called Emmet abbreviation. Sign of exclamation. Just sign of exclamation. Type that one and hit enter. You will get the complete web page. Now see here, I'm again showing because some of you might have missed that. Just type the sign of exclamation and hit enter. Magic. The magic will appear over here. Again, I'm deleting that. Everything deleted. Sign of exclamation and hit enter. You'll get the complete HTML code it's a boilerplate of a code. Yes, it's a HTML template, or you can call it a HTML page. This is a HTML template page. Now, this is not only the shortcut. There is another shortcut. If you write HTML, just write HTML 5 and hit enter. Yes, Chris, I know you would have missed, and you would have missed it over here as well. See here, just write HTML 5 and hit enter. You will get the complete web page. Is that good? Okay, just don't worry about these extra things that have appeared. And for the time being, just to make our life right now simple, I can delete these 3 lines, inside head. Other than title, I can delete everything from here. Other than title, just remove everything, just to make our life easier for the time being. And now I can make changes in this web page. I can say first web page, and I come over here, and again I do this H1 and I type my first website, right? And as I hit save, Control S, Okay, why it's not even updated? Oh yeah, now sometimes maybe because I deleted everything, so sometimes server might stop running, but now it should work anyhow. If I say again H1 and I say hello, 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 something like that. I hit save. You see that hello, hello, hello appears over here. Okay, so what I've done, I've just for the, and there is some extra thing over here as a language is equal to English. Don't worry about these things maybe right now. Just we want to just, very quickly, we wanted to run our first web page. We have run our first web page. You don't know what is H1. I'll talk about this H1. You don't know what is body head and what is this HTML all about. I'll talk about each and everything. But right now I wanted to tell you a few very, very interesting things. And there is one more extension that I want you to install. It's a very interesting one. Do you see that when I am typing my code, and if I make some mistakes or maybe here and there code like this, and if I do something like this, I have my code all scattered on the web page. You see here, as I hit Control S, you see my all code appears so nicely. Have you experienced that? Because if you have not installed those extensions, of course, you will be looking at that code. Why Naman's code is going so good after hitting save? Why is it not doing it for me? Is that something you are wondering right now? There might be some guys who will be thinking, what is this going on? Whenever Naman hits save, it really changes everything. You see here what is happening. So if I do something like that, I say, okay, this is there, this is there, this is there, all scattered bad document. I'm just making all scattered bad document. And if I hit save, everything goes back to its original position. You know how? I'll just let you know that this is very, very important. So again, go to your extensions. I want you to just install these extensions as well. And right here, prettier. Here. I'll show you that. This colorful P will appear, prettier code formatter. I would like to have a thumbs up when you have installed this prettier code formatter, because then I'll tell you how to set it up. Okay, Glenn has installed that. William has installed that. Wonderful. This is all magic. This all magic has been done by the prettier. I'm not doing any magic, right? So prettier is doing all that magic. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I can see a lot of guys have already installed that one. Now, once you have installed that one, okay, you have installed that one. Now come back over here. Okay, just I just want to be very short where we will, because you will find that one in your one as well. Okay. So after that, now we have installed we have installed this prettier, but still it won't be working for you. But you see that it is working for me. If you see, sorry, if you see that it is working for me right now over here, when I do something like this, we can set it up. So you see that my code is all scattered. When I'm hitting Control S, the code all goes back to its original position, which is a very handy thing. So first of all, if you hit your view and okay, just have no, not output. I want to go to these settings. Where is the settings? I cannot find them. They will be here somewhere. Oh, you go to File menu and Preferences. Right? File menu, Preferences, and inside that, Settings. File menu, Preferences, Settings. Go to Settings. Right? Now, okay, just leave it. Yeah. So now, first of all, if you click on this format, if you find out, yes, code preferences, yes, you're right. Glenn, you're right. In Mac, it is under the code. Thank you very much, Glenn. Okay, so if you hit this format, in that format option, you will see that there is an option format on save. So first of all, just click on that one. Format on save. Check that one. It would be unchecked for you. Right? And other than that, let me see if that option is also here. Okay, just do that. First of all, we need to just, we need to just do that format on save. Whenever I hit save, my document should be formatted. Right? And now what we want to do, we want to set up the code formatter. Let me just see that. Yeah. So if you hit this code formatter or code format, you see here that you will find a default formatter option. So code formatter, you will find out that there is a default formatter. Select prettier from this one. There will be many of them. You have to select the prettier code formatter that we have just installed. Select that one, prettier code formatter. So we have done two changes. We have changed the default formatter to prettier code formatter, and we have done, in autosave, I have just done that, a format on save, format on save. Now close these settings and close everything else. And now you try that out, what I'm doing. Make your code bad, looking bad, looking bad. And now as you hit Command S or Control S, you see that your code should be, but there should be no error in the code, by the way. If there is an error, it would work. Make sure that it does not have any error on that one. Yeah, David says neat. It means David has. So now I'm expecting a thumbs up from everyone who is able to format their code. Now, if you do here and there code, like I just type this one, I type this one, I just make it very bad, make it spacious. There are lots of things that I'm doing. And as I hit Control S, everything goes back. The first extension was live view, live server, Neil. Yes, it was live server. Yes, exactly. And by the way, yes, you are making notes, and I'll just, I'll write that in notes as well, and I'll provide you this file as well. So at last, some coding. So install Visual Studio Code. I'm just writing everything. Visual Studio Code. And enable following. What is that? Live server extension? Not live server, live server, live server. And the other one that I want to is prettier. For installation purpose. After installation, you have to set it up in formats like setting formats, settings, and format, and do what? Format on save. And the second setting that you have to make is the code formatter. Code formatter as prettier that we have just installed. Right, so I've just written down this in notes, So Neil, I've just written down that in notes, and you will get these notes as well right after the class. You will get these notes, and you'll get this first page as well. Now, without no problem. Without even knowing any HTML, now I'm expecting that you have a web page, a very nice working web page. Please, one point of stoppage. I want you to stop somewhere. Don't worry about the colors. Don't worry about their appearance. Don't worry about any background color. Don't worry about any picture by now. Just worry about, can I make some changes over there? So I'm just telling you this one thing that I'll discuss very much in detail. There are different H we have, headings we have. So this is second heading. If I hit save, you will find second heading. There is an H3 as well. I'll talk about all of them. This is called third heading. So they have their own sizes in the reverse chronicles, like sequence. This is fourth heading, and this is fifth heading, and this one is sixth heading. So you see that on the right side that you. So just please, today you just play with these headings. Don't worry, like don't play with anything else at all. I don't need any attributes, anything, just this simple web page, and I want you to play with that one. And if you remember the daily work that I shared with you today, I will be able to show you that now. Yeah, so this daily work, it just again, it also just gives you a simple doc type, and even it's a HTML missing. Anyhow, so simple document, and it says that you need to change the title. Now, what is the title? I hope you know that. Let me just close everything else. Title is appearing over here. Do you see that? And I want to change this title to my name. I will write in the inside title, I'll go and I'll say Nauman Atik, for example. As I hit save, look at my web page. The other magic. The title is changed to this Nauman Atik now. Is that right? You can change title from here, and you can show whatever on your web page by using this one here. This is a big heading, right? So you can just play with this one whatever you want. H1, H2, H3, H5, H6. I've just given you something to play with today, and I'm not discussing details of that one. And definitely I'll discuss all these details. And still, I would like you to just now go back to those videos that you were looking. Now they will be making more sense of it. Neil, is that right? Now those videos will be making more and more sense of it. Okay, HTML, what is that? What is that head tag? So I'll talk about this head tag, HTML. I'll talk about tag in general or elements in general. What are heads and tags elements, right? So this is the one. I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, we have not discussed anything what is there, but we have discussed some real nice shortcuts that we have now. And I know that now you understand these shortcuts. Now you know that, okay, this is the way to open up that folder structure. In week 1, I have created this index.html. And as I said, I would like now, I will just, if there is any question, you can ask right now, or maybe we can just close. But please don't worry about the styling or anything. Just go with this plain, very bad text, right? It looks very bad, looks very dried up. But don't worry, we will be applying so many interesting styles to it later on. Everyone's good with this topic till now? And when you go to your document over here, you just make changes to the title, make your name as the title. Oh, okay, and don't worry about these 3 lines. Just don't worry about these 3 lines again, because I've not told you. I will give you this work after tomorrow's class. So today you can just take this tag and play with this one. They have used the P paragraph tag. You can use that one as well, or I have given you H1 to H6. You can play with H1 to H6 as well right now. But tomorrow, in our next class, I will definitely discuss everything about this, and then we'll see more powerful web pages shortly coming. No, so for today, David, I won't like you to just submit anything, but what I want